Hey everyone, D-Dub Squizzy here, and welcome back to Swordflight. Alright, so we're going to the docks, right? Market, Watch, Temple, those are all cleared. Scholar's Corner. Well, cleared as they can be at the moment. Yeah, okay, let's go to the docks. You know, I'm not even going to bother looking around because of those. Hold on. What's going on? What are you blink dogs doing here? Too excited to respond to you in any helpful way. Okay. So that's a whole quest line, and it takes place all over the place, so just for convenience sake, I'm going to skip ahead in that respect and go deal with this problem as it comes up. The docks, annoyingly, I'm not going to be able to clear. Wait a minute. That sewer access right there. This is one of the doors I always miss, and it comes around to really inconvenience me. I recommend that you always take it, open it up just like the others, and then leave. Yeah, see, it's right here. I'll be back. Okay. There's a handful of things that we need to do at the docks. One of them I might not be able to do at all. It's always given me trouble in the past. If you don't have a character who's a dedicated searcher, it can be a little tricky, or impossible even. Okay, so that's the other exit of the area. Yeah, we want to go onto this ship right here. Don't believe this is really an important ship. Oh, right. Balance of Ogre Power. Unite with the Seagull. Unaccustomed to being addressed by half-orcs. Goal response to your communications with interest. How do you like life about the harbor? Indicates it's usually quite happy here. Careless and wasteful humans are continuously moving back and forth, ensuring it always has plenty to eat. Fair. Anything interesting? Expresses some concern about strange, possibly carnivorous creatures that have recently taken to appearing and disappearing all over the harbor for no apparent reason. Those are the blink dogs. Bit reassured you have some idea what they are. Alright. Yeah, you can't really enter most of these ships. Fair. Frankly, shouldn't even be allowed on them. But I guess most of the crews aren't even at them. Alright, so this is the captain I want to talk to. You look like you might be a barbarian youth adventurer. I might have some work for you. Yes. I remember well working with the barbarian in the party of adventurers I hired to assist me in bringing a thunder beast, one of those giant lizards from Chult. One of the hardest jobs I ever went on. Let me tell you, trekking through a jungle full of strange monsters, having to hack through the undergrowth everywhere we went, fighting off masses of mosquitoes. Can't some archmage somewhere come up with a spell that transports all mosquitoes to the hells where they belong? I agree. Matt. I know all about that. Wasn't even serious. It wasn't even the worst of it. Real problem was transporting the thunder beast once we had it. I heard they were big. Hadn't realized just how big. Druid we had with us was able to convince it to follow us back to the shore, which solved one problem, but actually finding space in the ship, we had to rearrange a lot of cargo. Once we had put to sea, the ship would shift about so much whenever the creature moved that I was afraid we were going to capsize. Good thing the weather held off and avoided bringing additional trouble our way. Of course, we still had to contend with pirates, however. Once the Thunder Beast poked its head out of the hold, most of them fled in terror. Which was a big help. I guess I'd never seen one before. Sure, but I want to hear everything. We eventually made it to port safe and sound. What's your business with me? You're the one with business with me. Fair mind, lost track there. Fanis decided captain of the ship before you, the Sea Beast. Specialty is the procurement, transportation of exotic animals. Lots of Kalashite nobles like to have an exotic menagerie. Captivity, I hardly think that's a fair description. I work with druids to ensure the well-being of my creatures. Most of them are delighted. Most of the creatures are delighted, not the druids, who just tell me what the creatures want. Most of the creatures are delighted to be brought into an environment where they will be safe and well fed. It still seems unnatural to me. Perhaps sometimes you could debate philosophies of nature with the druids I work with. For now, I hope you'll put aside differences so we can address the crisis. Having a problem with the dire tiger I was transporting. He broke out of his cage and is loose in the hold, likely to kill the other animals we have. Already scared off the pack of blink dogs that was down there. That'd be them. Teleporting all over the harbor, quite a task to collect them. No longer safe for any of the crew to enter. Don't want doubt to find adventurers, so I know to kill it. The tiger must not be killed. I've received an advance from the nobles seeking to purchase him. I'm going to give you this special dagger, which was prepared for such a contingency. Begin a special enchantment specific to tigers. Though we had the dagger, we didn't have anyone competent enough to dare use it. All you have to do is jab the tiger anywhere. It should put him into a deep sleep. We can return him to his cage. If you can convince him, not sure if the tiger's the best listener. Here's the dagger. Alright. I guess this would be why I take one with the land. In case this doesn't work. Tiger looks at you suspiciously, appears capable of attacking at any moment. Tiger responds well, seems a little less hostile, but suggesting that he return to his cage might still not go over. Please return to your cage, and we lead to trouble. Tiger agrees. Cool. That makes it easier. Tiger's no longer a danger. Have to double check cage logs in the future to make sure nothing like this happens. I think we get transporting what was just an ordinary, powerful beast. Still the matter of my pay. Found a clever little gnome. He's talking about basilisks. Real funny thing, when it came time for delivery, it turned our client who had no idea how he was going to deal with the basilisk's petrifying gaze. Who orders a basilisk without giving some thought to such a thing? In the end, we had to sell him our special container along with the beast itself. Sell him our special container along with the beast itself. First you can return the dagger. Here it is. Here's your pay. 500 gold for that. That's nice. If you're interested in earning more gold, I might have another task for you. We're transporting blink dogs. Arrangements have been made for the dogs to work for a certain noble. When the tiger broke free, they panicked and teleported away. They've been teleported all over the place. Search around and collect them. You'll need this. That'll let the dogs know you come for me. Hold it in your hand. Tell them tiger problems been attended to. 7 dogs to find. Yeah, so he gave me this thing. Gives you some animal empathy and lets you communicate with them. I don't think it takes a whole lot to do so. I have a 5. The thing gives you a 3. I'll see if you actually have to hold the rod, but I don't think you do. Okay, you do. I'm just going to put this here for the time being. There's a seagull feather. I will take it. So there's 7 dogs. We got 2 of them. Now I can start searching the dogs proper. Yeah, so I didn't want to run around searching all over the place first, because I was going to have to do it to find the dogs anyway, so I might as well hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Seen any blink dogs? One suddenly appeared right in front of me not too long ago. May need to search your house. I don't think it's here. Vanished. I haven't seen it since. But if you must, no wish to impede the search. Okay, so he doesn't have any other jobs for me to do, but I'll search his house for the dog. Good thing I can speak through walls. Okay, so 3 found. Yeah, it can be frustrating to catch them. I don't know if they run in a pattern or if it's completely random. Okay, so we have 5 so far. I feel like a druid should be able to communicate with them without the rod. I'm shotgun. Looked to be one of those adventuring types. Searching for blink dogs. Saw one teleport in here not long ago. Teleport somewhere else a minute later. While you're looking for the dog meat, you could also keep an eye out for my work gloves. I set them down on one of the wagons, and now I can't find them. Too busy to look for them right now. Perhaps you could search the wagons, or maybe ask the other workers. Alright. There. Nope, I don't. Okay, well at least he's just teleporting inside. Maybe one of them will answer me. None of them. I have a decent intimidate. I mean, it's not great, but it's something. No. And this was the quest I was saying I'm probably not going to complete. I think I've been able to complete it once with a paladin. I believe I persuaded someone. Or something like that. Everyone else who I've tried to do this with has failed. Yeah, I think you need significantly high checks for the stage of the game that you get into this place. And then it just ends the quest. Once you've tried to talk to everyone and search everything, you're not going to find anything, so you get no reward. It's just over. There's a door up there for some reason that is openable, but doesn't have any access point. That's weird. Don't see any dogs in here. That one would probably jump between these people's houses, which would be frustrating. If one of them does leave, usually you can just stand in place and eventually it'll come back. It's no major problem. Seagull feather. In a very limited manner, I can control some weather. No, I can't even control some weather. I'm not that strong a druid. I can burn some folks. I can't even strike with lightning. That makes me sad. Okay, so that's the guy that Walati told me about. I'll be back to talk to him, because he's got an actual quest. Searching around first. And hopefully I'll be able to get that quest done in this episode, because it can be a bit time-consuming. I don't think I'm going to be able to cover enough ground to actually make the map self-clear it. So there's just going to be some darkness there. Okay, so sailors and dock workers, no one important. Yeah, he's the proprietor. Welcome to the belly of the Kraken. You'll be glad to have been devoured when you see the fine food, beverages, and lodging available. Kamadash Ravati, owner of the finest tavern in all Kalanport. Do you happen to know of any work? We have a little problem with a barbarian like you might be able to do something about. We have noticed all the barrels and boxes stacked in the kitchen. That's all the stuff we had to move out of the basement, which was recently flooded. It's been quite a nuisance. I can't do much about that. We don't need a barbarian just to deal with the flooding. That's annoying. We could fix that ourselves. The trouble is that along with the water, a bunch of sharks got into the basement as well. How'd they get in? Bizarre. I have no idea. I guess the sea's broken in somewhere. It's bringing in the water and its occupants as well. Need to clear the sharks out. I'd be willing to pay you for that. Yeah, basic stuff. Don't think anyone ever takes the seagull feathers. Except that mage who wants them. They're not worth anything. Okay, so there's sharks in the basement. That's the other exit. You can buy things from the waitress if you're really determined to. I'm dressed in the trappings of a wizard. You seem to be one of those mercenary adventure types. Do you have any knowledge of the arts of magic, or know any of the other adventurers who do?
What'll you have then?
Not really granted by my god, I'm a druid, but... you're Kalanu Amal, give a description of him, which you seem to match. Who might you be? I'm a barbarian, investigating the disappearance of Aladar Hassin. I'm going to speak to you concerning your knowledge of the Twisted Rune. It's most unfortunate, though I'm not surprised. Twisted Rune is not to be trifled with, no indeed, but I have forgotten to answer your question. Yes, I spoke with him. Told him what little I knew concerning those of the rune, how I suppose he would have continued this investigation. What would you tell him? Only tell you the tale I told Aladar. Some years ago, sailing with a rather eccentric shipmate, Drasham Nar by name. When in port, he would often be seen conversing with mysterious strangers or disappearing for days on some peculiar business. When questions about it, his answers were evasive and unsatisfactory. He excited my curiosity, decided to see if I could find out whether he was hiding. Whatever it was he was hiding. When our ship was docked in Kalimport, followed him. He did nothing more than meet with a shopkeeper to whom he delivered some letters and packages. Convincing me my shipmate was no more than a cog in a larger device, realized that to get to the real truth, I would follow the shopkeeper. I did, led me into a deep section of the city, unfamiliar to me. Great palaces of the wealthy nobles. No surprise, I suppose. They would doubtless seek to extend their influence to the haunts of the rich and powerful. How did he end up at the home? He went off into a corner, up against a blank wall, or so I thought, but then he opened a door disguised to look like part of the wall and entered. When I peeked around the secret door, I beheld the hoarder which he was speaking, and an undead monster whose face was nothing but a skull. I simply fled in terror and discovered no more. One could imagine other explanations than the Twisted Rune. Perhaps that's so. Yet it was a network of agents ultimately answering to some undead thing. Believe they were all part of the Twisted Rune. And this is what you told him. Opened up 2 avenues. Told him both the current home of my former shipmate, Drasham, was supposed to have been an agent of the Rune, and the hidden chamber. Never learned the shopkeeper's name or what became of him. Aladar departed to follow up on one or both of those clues. I cannot say what happened to him when he did. I assume you'll want the same information. It gives you direction to the current home of Drasham Nar, who now lives in the southwest of the Merchant District, and the secret door in the Noble District. Alright, so some progress. Significant progress, actually. A couple avenues to explore there. Here's someone moving. Here's someone moving. This room is unoccupied. Always worth searching every room. Never know who might be in them. Or at least, knocking on the doors. Oh. Please don't teleport away. Okay, not far. Alright, that's all 7, so I can return to him and finish that up. Someone's moving. Unoccupied. Like I was supposed to say appears to be unoccupied, but every one of these just says that. What do you want? Nothing, I guess. Okay, so sharks in the basement. I don't have much experience dealing with sharks, so I'm just gonna kind of prepare for every eventuality. Okay, well they're not hostile, so I have that. Hi, buddy. Shark seems to be sizing you up, wondering if you'd make a good meal. I suspect the fruitful communication may not be as easy. Ooh. Okay. Retreat! Okay, can I bottleneck them anywhere? Probably not, actually. Okay, but if you're dumb enough, I can just clock you here. Man, they absorbed 5 of every damage. Or every hit. Fortunately, I was able to quadruple my swings on that one. Alright, this is going pretty well so far, I gotta be honest. I get the feeling that's about to change. These things are gnarly. Fortunately, just because of the way they're set up here. Their bodies are large enough that they take up a bunch of extra space. I have plus 16 and 11? Man, when did that happen? Oh, well, I did improve my strength quite a bit, now that I think about it. And I have a 25! I have a 25 strength right now. I guess that means I have a 20 by default, I think. What is a trap door? And an empty barrel for some reason. To swim effectively, total weight in your inventory must not exceed 20 pounds, multiplied by your strength modifier. So you may need to temporarily drop somebody you're carrying. So, 7, 140. Oh yeah, I can swim. No. Yes. So out to the sea beneath the docks and taverns, nothing but an endless expanse of ocean to the south. You turn instead to the north, come across two passages, seem to lead up and out of the water. One to the right, one to the left. Let's go to the right. So hooligan, of course. Let's get him. Oh, well done. I don't like Sahuagin. Mean, evil, destructive, victimizing creatures. Basically just watery Yanti. Well, that's not entirely true. They're not nearly as... ooh. Reject our offer of alliance. What do we care about who rules the surface worlds? Nothing but a source of prey. The Sahuagins got pretty good logic. They would be hard to eradicate. Going for the shark first. Gotcha. Kill the leader. They have a cleric. Okay, but he's spell failured right now. There you go. Kill that cleric. As long as he was held by that thing, he couldn't really get any casting off. That's not going to be enough healing. Well, we didn't kill the Arania. Unfortunately, the Sahuagin got to it first, so I didn't snag the XP from that one. Overall, though, I'd say it went pretty well. I incurred 5 damage out of that entire endeavor. And now there's another dead Arania. Totally worth it. Arania Ambassador's letter. Torn off, waterlogged sheet of paper seems to be the remains of a letter. Only the final section is still legible. Lose nothing by trying. It may well be the Sahuagin will prove too xenophobic to enter into a formal alliance with us. Even if they do not, their raids will act as valuable diversion in our favor. Be, of course, better if they were fully coordinated with their own activities. It will not worry over much if that proves impossible. Xiaxia. As further evidence of Arania organizing a war, she'll probably brought to the attention of someone in a position of authority, such as Hamad. Alright, they have a barricaded spot there. And it looks like that leads to the exit, so before we go in there, let's go this way. Move. More Sahuagin. Hey. You guys want to fight? Armor class is 23, which I guess isn't terrible. It's not as good as I would like it to be. Uh-oh. I think I'm about to be overwhelmed. If he crits me, I think I'm dead. I'm doing 1d12 plus 10 right now. That is insane. What am I getting plus 10 from? So 7 from my strength, 1 from this. Where are the other 2 coming from? I have rage, but I'm not using that right now. I have no idea. Actually, I might not need that much. I'm gonna have to rest anyway to replenish my stuff before speaking to that ship captain. Ow. Ooh, a greater magic bag. Statue of a shark has been set up here. An idol. Yeah, that'd be Sekola. A necklace. Necklace does not appear to have much value, but is distinctly decorated, has some faded writing on it. May be helpful in identifying the victim. Turned over to the city guard. Hopefully that's a Stormcaller's rod or something. I can use one of those. Okay, and that'd be the other swimming point. Hardiness, the one they were called. I was trying to remember the name of those boots. Because they're awesome. I guess there is still some of the sewer left. If there's a hooligan running around it as well. If there are the sewers, it might be wise to heal up. I'll at least use this. That one's an archer, so marginally less dangerous than the others. And a scout. Okay. I can kill this guy, and then hopefully take the scout alone. Hopefully. Gonna have to move fast to kill you in time. Okay, well, you're sort of an ineffective fighter now anyway. He's throwing a weapon at me, in my face. He's just giving me free attacks of opportunity. I will take it. Tell you what, man. Well, 18. I don't think they have to roll that high to get me. 23, it's alright, but it's not great. fact, it might even be a little below what you want as just an average. Well, there weren't many of these things. I don't know if they're what broke into the place and let it flood, or if they're just the reason there were sharks in the area. It's probably more likely they were just meeting up with the Arania to discuss the alliance, brought their sharks with them, or sharks follow them wherever they go. And because there was an opening, the sharks came in. This is why you open that thing. Now you have an easy point of access. And I think we've killed all of them. Am I close to leveling up? No, even if I were, it wouldn't be druid, so I'm not going to need a rest afterwards. Sharks are gone. 400 gold and some ale. Sell you the empty bottles and whatnot. He doesn't take most items, but any kind of foodstuffs and most ingredients for things I think he will take. Take a potion of speed. I might want to keep that though. Yeah, he doesn't want those. Like a room. 10 gold. Key to room 3. I like how there's just glasses breaking every 3 seconds in here. And that proprietor is okay with that. Yeah, it might be this one. Certainly not a big room, but it gets the job done. Door will automatically close and relock in 24 hours, and you'll be automatically placed outside if you're still in it at that time. Yeah, 20 armor class and 20 strength. That's huge. Yeah, just placing orders. Huh, there's just people passed out. Whoa, that was an accident. I can carry a lot, too. Having a lot of strength is nice. All the dogs have returned. Kindly return my rod. Here it is. Reminds me of the time I traveled to Icewind Dale to find some live tundra yetis. Hired some barbarians to hunt them down and bring them to us. Funny looking fellows with their pale skins and yellow hair. Hardly seemed human. Waiting for them at our camp, which would have been tedious if we hadn't been constantly seeking ways to keep warm. There isn't anywhere near enough firewood up there. Barbarians turned out to be pretty stupid, not good at following instructions. They were supposed to bring back live tundra yetis. First they came back with a dead Remorhaz. What would we have wanted with that? If it had been alive, of course, but even then it wasn't what we hired them to obtain. Next they brought back some captive people from the small civilized towns up there. They expect to sell them into slavery. We don't speak their language very well, and there would have been miscommunication, but really they should have understood us better than that, because people's brain freeze when they live that far up north. One of them knew a bit about local tongues, was able to explain what we wanted, so we did finally get our Yetis, though it turned out to be quite a test of patience. Alright, you get a little XP for finishing listening to him. Icewind Dale's a rough place. Alright, so let's go talk to the captain. I'm just going to let you know right now, and you'll learn when you talk to him. Be ready for quite a quest. I mean, it's not like super long or anything, although it's a bit time consuming. But it definitely can be quite rough. Can be. Doesn't have to be, but it can be. Thungar Blueguard, Adventure Barbarian, mutual friend. Saman told me you might need my services. I'm mentioning someone who might be able to help us. I'm Nunal Saracen, captain of the Shining Searcher. Mostly spent our time searching out, trading rare magical and historical treasures. Last voyage, we found something interesting. Why don't you follow me into the hold? Here are the artifacts that concern us. Those two stone pillars and the magical portal created when they are placed at the right distance from each other. If one gets close enough, the region on the other side of the portal can be seen. The area in question is underwater. It seems to contain a ruined city. I suspect it's lost at Chutol. City Kalim sunk beneath the waves almost 9,000 years ago. That's been lost for millennia. How many sunken cities do you know of, especially in this part of the world? Of course, the portal could go anywhere. I'm just hoping it would be quite exciting if we were to find a Chutol after all this time. This is what I want to hire you for. I need someone to go through, find some evidence. Didn't you say the other side is underwater? Had our wizard here prepare some magical protections. They'll prevent you from drowning and also from... What was the problem you were talking about? Prevent the weight of the water from crushing you. Didn't think of that when I fashioned the first version of the spell. That's why the first one didn't come back. Someone already went through. Nothing you need to worry about. Just needed to work out a few small problems. Think we've allowed for everything this time. Nothing to worry about, at least as far as drowning and such is concerned. You'll have the benefit of a now tested and improved protection spell. So far as is fashioned for you, will automatically extend its protections to magically summoned allies if you rely on such. However, there are a few limitations you need to be aware of. You won't be able to move or attack as quickly as usual, won't be able to use missile weapons, and magical spells that involve the use of fire are unlikely to be effective. Another thing to be aware of is that the protections will be removed when you come back through the portal, and it will take some time to set up the spell again. So it's imperative you not return till you've completed your mission. The protections are not permanent, lasting only 24 hours. 4 hours. They only last 4. That's a big difference. Only 4 hours, it appears. There should be sufficient time to find anything, but you probably shouldn't dilly-dally. There may be hazards other than the water. I've seen a few sharks swim by on the other side. Who knows what else is about? While we want an experienced adventurer. If you recover appropriate evidence, I'll pay you 1,000 gold plus any treasure you find on the other side that doesn't contribute to identifying the ruin. Alright, so now whenever I step through, I'm in. Don't know that I'll need that. But I'll go with that first. Yeah, with my cleric it was rough. Darkfire didn't do anything. Don't know if I'll be able to talk to the sharks or if I will have to kill them. They're usually pretty violent. 22. Not nearly as much damage as normal. Or as I got last time. Alright. 4 hours. 4 hours is actually a pretty decent chunk of time. I'll just let you know, I've never gone through this and lost more than... I think I've left the worst case scenario on like 40% of the spell's time, so it's doable. Okay, I definitely want to fight these things alone though, because I'm slowed. Although it's not like an actual slow, it's just a movement speed decrease. So I think you only have an attack decrease on missile weapons. Yeah. Cannot be used effectively underwater. Just won't let you even equip them. Dexterity's dropped by 1. And you walk slow. But at least you don't take the armor class penalty, because that would suck. Don't like the music down here. This is easily my least favorite soundtrack in this game, and probably in any of the fantasy games that I'm regularly playing. I just don't like it. Sounds like something that the choir in Hogwarts would sing for some reason. Goblin sharks are nasty pieces of work in reality. Don't see anything out on that outcropping. Catch a glimpse of something underneath the pile of rubble. It's quite solid and will not be easy to shift. Well, I'm plenty strong, so that'll move. Ooh. Magical trident. I'm interested. Magical scythe. Very nice. And it looks like a fancy one, too. Scythes are a nasty weapon in this game. Like, the 4 times crit damage on top of a base 1d10 damage. Like, it's not 1d12, but 1d10 is a lot. And quadrupling that, especially at high levels, The best you're going to get as far as crits go is 17 to 20, I think, on that thing. But that's pretty absurdly high for the sort of damage it can output. The container seems remarkably well preserved for its age. Ow. Well, not actually ow. Yeah, I can't damage it. Best be able to pick locks or maybe knock it open. I don't know if knock will work. Oh, more sharks. Now, fortunately, the sharks seem to have an extremely long detection range, so they can get you from far away, which means usually you can draw them out without too much effort, and if they're really giving you that much trouble, draw them and back away a few steps. You'll usually be able to kill one before someone else finds out. And as it is with most enemies, they seem to travel in groups of 3. And 2 crits. That one is actually a pretty low damage crit. There's another shark around, I know it. I just don't know where it is. Kind of reminds me of traveling underwater in Knights of the Old Republic. Walking around, sonic discharge and everything. Water elementals. That's not going to be fun. Letting everyone know. Elementals in this have an actual, they have actual elemental powers. They can do things to you. And water elementals are one of the most annoying. More magic stuff. I could leave right now, and will have made a significant profit. Of course, what sort of adventure would I be if I left right now? Okay, so we should have circumnavigated the whole place by now. 3 hours. Yeah, see? We've lost a single hour now, out of the 4 that we have to get the job done. Okay, so these things you definitely want to lure out one at a time. Yeah, they always throw that one out. What you really want to do is get them to use their bolt attack, and then take a step back. The moment they do. That. Because it'll do that to you. Which doesn't actually penalize any of your stats. It just prevents you from fighting for, like, more than 1 round, which is all knockdown should be for. It's very frustrating. I hate it. And every water elemental's got it. So if you can get a pile of them to all throw them at the same time, and it deals some damage to you, then do it. Once they're done with that, they're usually, at least regular water elementals. I don't believe this one's got a... Yeah, this one doesn't have a drown attack. They're just regular. Stronger elementals can then attempt to drown you, which is an instant kill. Knockdown attacks, while annoying, aren't as significant a threat because it's only for 1 round that you're on the ground. Knockdown in the hands of me can be pretty helpful, I will say that. I enjoy using knockdown. I've made good use of it in my time playing Swordflight, and I never use it in regular Neverwinter Nights because nothing survives long enough for it to matter. I think if I can close in on one fast enough, it won't even attempt to use the knockdown, it'll just fight me. Usually that's what enemies do with special powers. If you can get in on them, yeah, like bombardier beetles. Generally, if you close in on them fast enough, they don't even attempt to shoot you. So that is also a strategy. I'm fortunate right now, I've caught that one separated from its last buddy over there. If they're together, that's not really an option, because one will keep you busy and one will shoot you, but once you get past those annoying abilities, they're pretty manageable. They've subsumed all of my elemental protections, but it looks like I'm not going to need them anymore. I don't even know if I used the right word there. Okay. So that should be everything then. Hopefully. Everything I've noticed so far. Big place at the center. Doesn't look like... well, there's a hole in it. So sharks are probably... could be inside. I don't know about probably, but definitely could be. I don't know if sharks get along with water elementals. I feel like they probably shouldn't. Lots of rusty stuff here. Writing has been engraved on the tablet in some ancient language. While somewhat faded, most of it's quite legible. Should provide much information about the ruined city. Once it's brought to qualified scholars able to decipher it. Due course should make it possible to determine what city this was and complete the mission. Well, you would hope. If it's anything like real tablets, it's probably just a record, like a customer complaint about bad quality of copper that someone was sold. Alright. Anything arriving to try and cut me off from my escape? Or am I going to be able to just leave this nightmare? Good, let's hurry. Then I can probably skip down to the Watch District, and then over to the Nobles. And to the portal. Right, it removes all your protections and abilities the second you get out. No big deal for me, I have enough strength. I don't have to do much. Found the tablet with writing. I think it should be sufficient. If done well, here's the gold. Alright, so yeah, nice little side quest. Okay, so we're going to go straight to the watch. Turn over that corpse's necklace. Then I'm going to go to the Nobles, check out that door, speak to Hamad, probably get some sleep, head over to the market, sell my stuff, talk to the last guy, and then probably end it. Or I'm not going to the watch. Anyone bad? A couple of thugs, and someone who's hiding. They always attack with at least 3 guys, sometimes more. If you only see 2, at least one person is sneaking around. Figured I'd just kill you alone. I noticed it replenished my my rage. No, I didn't use a rage underwater, did I? Yeah, there he is. Sneaky little bastard, aren't you? My problem with ever just playing a rogue... See, in regular Neverwinter Nights, you get the Feyduster short sword, or you can, if you have someone make it. And that thing has like a 75% chance to stun people every hit, if they fail a mental save. Which means as a rogue, you can get... It only lasts a round or two, but that's a round or two of free sneak attacks, and that's where you get all your damage in. Which makes rogues viable. In this, you're only going to get one or two if you sneak around, and then the enemy's focusing on you, and usually he has friends. I don't know if there is something like the Feyduster that I haven't found yet, but I don't know. Maybe you just have to kind of multi-class with something else. Was probably the answer. I found some interesting information explaining about your encounter with the Sahuagin. No, not the Sahuagin. I'm going to bring that to Hamad. Here's the necklace. I could have asked him for a reward, but no biggie. If the necklace was worth anything, I could have sold it. And there's no point in returning to Waladi. He doesn't have anything else for you to do. Okay, so there is the entrance to what we assume is a Twisted Rune hideout. Place looks deserted. Room's covered with wreckage and trash and a thick layer of dust, clearly undisturbed for a long time. May once have been a lair meeting place of the Twisted Rune, but you doubt it still serves the function. Search the room, search the room, search the room. Uncover a strange rune covered a stone, which you suspect has some magical properties. Just gonna pocket that real quick. A wardstone is definitely suspicious. I suppose I can check all of my stuff now. Alright. I want a paralyzation. None of that's magical. So you get magical damage and cold damage. Oh, versus elemental magical damage. That's cool. And extra cold damage, +2, protection from the elements at level 3, 2 times a day. That is a nice object. I like that. Okay, that's just a +1 trident. Velarin's trident. Oh. That's one of those gemmed objects. So that's pretty cool. +1, and it's keen. Yeah, I think all of Velarin's stuff is keen. It is a Stormcaller's Rod. 48 charges left. Call Lightning and Ice Storm. Awesome. That's a good find right there. I'm definitely hanging on to that. Hammy, I got something that you'll probably want to see. Found some further information about the threat from the army. Well, it doesn't tell us much. I'll see the information is brought to the attention of the appropriate authorities. I'll have to look into protecting the harbor from further Sahuagin infiltration. Good work finding out about it. Here's a little reward. 200 XP for that. And he gave me 250 gold, but the 200 XP, that's a pretty major boost for it. Already got a decent bit from chunking an Arania Sahuagin. I guess I didn't kill the Arania. The Sahuagin did. That Sahuagin chief can be a handful if you're not careful. He's killed me more than once. He's really not that strong. He's kind of like the Asabi chieftain in the Orc Caves. You know, he's decently strong. The real issue is you're just not that strong by the time you fight him, usually. He's about your equal, I'd say. Or at least pretty close. Right, I gotta go deliver those seagull feathers, too. I can do that. Alright, Scholar's Corner. $115 gold for 3 feathers. That'd get me, like, good powers for being okay. Nah, I'm good. It'd be evil to try and threaten him for more, and he just gave me 115 gold for 3 feathers from a seagull. I think that's a pretty good price for them. I don't understand how anyone could be upset about that. Alright, don't believe I've got any reagents to sell, so no need to stop in at the mage. +1. Why is that not lumped in with the rest? Did I get it before? I'll worry about organizing once I've sold all my stuff. I think I can sell those. I have enough bark skin stuff too, but I might as well carry them around. The Valoran's Trident. I suppose I can pocket that with this one, right? Might as well. They're both 1d8 martial weapons. Well, that's a simple one actually. And that's usable by rogues too. I forgot about that. That's pretty cool. I didn't identify those. I'm dumb. Bracers of armor. Not a huge deal anyway. Scarab protection +2. I could. I think I want to get that Ring of Resistance +2. I don't remember if he sold it or the mage did, but I can sell the scythe to him at least. That thing should bring in a pretty decent chunk. 9 grand, yeah, that's decent chunk's an understatement. Holy cow. Resistance +2. Don't mind if I do. 10 grand. Yeah, he has worse prices than the other guy did. The other guy gave me a discount, so it makes sense. Scarab protection I think is pretty much the same thing. That one just gives a glow. Probably should have bought that one. Doesn't matter either way. Didn't have anything else I really need to spend money on. I'm looking good enough on healing supplies, so I don't need to restock any of that. Oh, right. Yeah, merchant guy. That'd be over here. Who's there? I'm the barbarian investigating disappearance. If they don't want to stir up trouble, suggest you let me in. Gotta bribe him, I guess. Here. You want to know what happened to Aladar? Guess someone saw him coming to visit, told you about him. Somehow gotten into his head. I was an agent of the Twisted Rune, wanted me to tell him all I knew about it. Pretty reckless. Sure, I didn't want to mess with anyone who was actually working for the Rune. So you aren't an agent? I'll admit I've been involved with a few shady deals in my time, but I would never mess around with liches or vampires. Back when I was a sailor, I was an agent for something, but I never really knew what. Most likely a thieving guild. All I would do is gather information, deliver packages for my contact. Traveling all over as I was in a good position to do both. So you don't really know who you were working for. Can you be certain it wasn't the Rune? One never knows, but I don't see how it was more likely to be the Rune than 100 other organizations. What'd you tell him? Only information I could give him was the name of my contact back then, a guy named Fayar Tisanal. When I was working with him, he was posing as a shopkeeper. Don't know what he's doing now, but he lives over in the Temple District, just south of the Temple of Tyr. As far as I know, that's where he would have gone. Likely Fayar, whoever Fayar works for, killed him for poking his nose where it didn't belong. Alright, so the temple is next. Alright, so gotta meet or talk to that guy in the Temple District. And we'll see where that goes. Once I've gotten that stuff done, now that the docks are clear, the only place left to go is the slums. And Dark Calimport for Zorala's thing, but I'm not doing that yet. Dark Calimport's freaking dangerous, and so I'm not going to worry about that yet. So, next one we'll be picking up, going to the temple, talking to that guy, seeing where that quest leads, and once that's done, assuming we have some time, then we'll head over to the slums. Not going to be able to get all the slums done in one episode, I think, but might be able to get at least the surface level stuff started. Alright, well, that is all for this one then. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.